I'm Heather Canary. I'm the director of the School of Communication here at San Diego State University. I wanted to talk a little bit about how I see us connecting research and teaching and community engagement, because this is really a key part of the School of Communication and of our values as a faculty, and I think why our students get so much out of their programs here. We have created a new Center for Communication Health and the Public Good, and this center is going to be really a vortex of research, as well as being able to foster educational programs, including potential curriculum, and also a place where we can have impacts on organizations, health-related organizations, and other organizations in the San Diego area. We also have a program at the Las Colinas Women's Detention Center where our faculty and graduate students go to the Women's Center and teach them communication skills. And those inmates earn a certificate. It's a non-credit bearing certificate, but it's a certificate. And SAGE projects are a unique opportunity for teachers to take their undergraduate students out of the classroom and into the San Diego area, where they partner with cities or organizations or groups of people to help to address issues that are of concern to those groups and bring the classroom to San Diego.
In the interactions with the faculty here and in several programs through the university, I've really changed my outlook on teaching. I understand assessment a lot more because of some of my colleagues. I understand that when I create an assignment, it has to be thinking about the student learning objectives, thinking about the overall curriculum. In other words, how do my classes that I teach impact the overall curriculum, and how do they fit within that curriculum?
I was thrilled to have the opportunity to join the school here and to be able to work with young scholars and to collaborate with some of the most brilliant people I've had the privilege of working with. I think that we're very lucky here to have faculty with expertise in rhetoric, ethnographic methods, conversation analysis, and quantitative methods, and to be able to offer our students the variety in training that they may not get anywhere else.
And so since I've been at San Diego State, I've moved from communication competence to the dark side, and now into mass media and diffusion of social media information in the form of memes. I work on sexual violence and on intimate partner violence and on stalking, made their way into the campus sexual climate survey that's going to be done every couple of years now on campus. I also was a consultant to the CDC in their development of a compendium of measures. I've developed the capstone course in communication, and I have edited a volume of original essays by the faculty at San Diego State. And this textbook will eventually be marketed nationwide. The hope is that it will affect the model by which the discipline conceptualizes what the capstone course is. SDSU and the School of Communication could be on the map in the discipline by having a major textbook, which, as far as we can tell, is the only textbook of its type.
What I love about San Diego State is all of us are really teacher scholars. And so we care just as much about our teaching and mentoring as we do our scholarship. Being someone who teaches in the area of gender and organizational communication and health communication, the issue of advocacy is really big right now, and it's so important. And how do you do advocacy? You do it through communication. I've worked with 2 veterans on their thesis projects, and one of the things that I've learned through them are the wide range of nonprofits that actually exist in San Diego community.
I joined the faculty a long time ago, and it's changed quite a bit because the disciplines changed quite a bit. Things like narrative structure and purpose, things like media literacy, presidential public address, these are all things that were just really in their infancy when I joined the faculty in 1985. But the one thing that hasn't changed for me is the feeling of excitement that I get working with my colleagues, working with students, working in the area of ideas.
My early work was in ordinary conversation and communication in the courtroom between lawyers and witnesses during interrogation and testimony. I switched eventually to a primary focus on health and medicine. First, looking at communication in primary and preventive care in the clinic between patients and doctors and nurses, and also then eventually focusing on cancer, particularly both between family members dealing with cancer and cancer patient and in the clinic.
I was in a rural small town, so moving here allowed me to work with nonprofit organizations in San Diego, especially nonprofit organizations that work with historically underserved communities. I want to be at an institution that have an institutional commitment to social justice. Since coming here, I've been more intentionally integrating my research and teaching. I want to do more with kind of health and culture, in particularly when it comes to immigrant health, global health, think about what role I can play and what kind of contribution I can make as an intercultural scholar.
Specifically, I feel like San Diego State as an institution, but specifically the School of Communication, fosters an interest in social justice. And I feel like my research and my teaching has evolved to align with some of those institutional missions. I'm fortunate because I get to teach classes like communication and rhetorical movements and communication and politics and public address that offer some clear interventions between theory and practice.
So I use behavior change theories to examine risky behaviors, typically tobacco use, and try to increase education and reduce intention to use. So my research topics have changed slightly to match the tobacco-related crises that we have here in California. My teaching has changed in that the expectation I have for my students has grown. The bar is higher because San Diego State students, they're incredible, and wherever you set the bar, they make it. I really see the future here at SDSU, at least for my research and teaching, being much more tied in the community as my networks grow and my time here in San Diego grows, that I will be able to better bridge those opportunities for my students and better connect some of my research to the local challenges here.
But something that's new is a focus that I have on bringing undergraduate students into the research process. I'm able to do that in my classroom by recruiting the best and brightest students to help me with studies, as well as bringing my research into the residence halls in my role as a faculty in residence here on campus. As a health communication scholar, I engage in research that's community embedded. So what I really prioritize is partnering with organizations. Those could include nonprofits in the community, they might be hospitals or medical centers, sometimes they might be schools. And by doing research that's embedded in those communities, I'm able to not only explore theory, but also have outcomes that are very applied and helpful to the populations that those organizations serve.
I've always been interested in research that matters, research that makes a difference, community engagement, and innovation in research. And all of the faculty were doing that type of research when I applied for a job here. The School of Comm supports me in that and gives me a lot of leeway to try new things, to try different things, to involve graduate students in different ways.
The faculty here is phenomenal. They are probably the most wonderful group of people I've ever had the privilege to meet, and I wanted to be a part of their team. And we are now linking and engaging the community, getting students jobs, and connecting back. And it's really been fun to see students get this resource and realize there are careers for them after graduation and things they can start preparing for now. So I feel like that's been a really big contribution to the students here in getting this internship program up and running. For me, I enjoy working with the community of students, not only that are here, but after they graduate. And so a lot of my teaching and connections focus on helping them make that portfolio for whatever it is that's going to bring them into the future. Working with students for internships, web designs, resumes, anything that they might need to take them back out in the community and stay connected with them.
One of the initiatives that we've started here this year in the School of Communication is to improve our connections and relationships with our alumni. We have an incredible amount of alumni in San Diego and across the nation. We are making a concerted effort to gather our alumni and keep them connected with what we're doing here, and so we can keep them in the family of the School of Communication.